Hi, my name is Brian Knight from Pragmatic Works, and in today's video we're going to show you how to use object detection to automatically find what's in a picture inside of PowerApps. So stay tuned. Welcome back. Microsoft a few months ago released this amazing feature called AI Builder. And in today's video, we're going to show you how to use AI Builder to automatically detect what's in a picture and ultimately do an inventory system. So what I have in front of me are some good old-fashioned some sodas, my vices here. And what I want to do is I took a whole bunch of pictures of these sodas in different types of scenarios, in our cooler, on my desk, in all different places. We're going to build an app where an inventory person can take a picture of the soda and it would automatically add these two items to inventory after that. Now, we're doing a small subset of pictures, maybe 15 pictures per object, and we're going to skip some steps in our case. But from this, you'll get the general idea of how to do this. It's a pretty simple application, maybe 20 minutes or so to take care of this. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. So our first piece to do here is I opened up make.powerapps.com. And there's two things I had to do here. One of the things I had to do was create a common data services entity, which is required for App Builder, that has a list of all the objects I have in here. So things like Coca-Cola and Diet Coke and my Mountain Dew, my personal vice here. And I intentionally try to fool our model eventually by creating two very similar color objects with Canada Dry and Mountain Dew. So I created an entity called, and you'll see that in a moment, that has a list of all of our product SKUs. And then also that has the inventory for those SKUs also. Once I did that, I went to make.powerapps.com, which you see here, and I went ahead and went to AI Builder and build. Now, there is a preview for AI Builder, and some of it is free. This is intentionally not free, but we're going to choose a number of objects here. We're going to actually go with the object detection here. Form processor will look at the objects and tell you what's on a form and pull all, almost like an OCR, pull all the key text out. Prediction allows you to do some really neat stuff around driving a high-value customer versus a low-value customer and what kind of questions you ask around that. And then text classification does things like sentiment analysis. Was this a good comment or a bad comment from a customer, and route them appropriately. Anything we do here will also work for things like Microsoft Flow and PowerApps. So let's go into our object detection. We'll call this just soda inventory. Okay, and we'll hit create. After we do that, it's going to ask us a few questions. First thing it's going to know is what is the CDS, Common Data Services entity, that has a list of all of our products. So we'll select an object name, and I know I have it called object here, so I'll search for it. There's my table I created. Now I loaded that table just from a CSV file or an Excel file, and you can do that over in the data flows area inside of data, inside of make.powerapps.com. So here's my object names right here that I'm trying to detect. Well, then I select field. You'll see a list of the fields that I have here. So let me kind of get rid of my face here so you can see a little closer here. So over here, you'll see a list of all the objects that I want to do inventory on. I'm going to pick the last four in my case, which are my sodas. Okay, then I'll hit next. Now, my next step is to go through and upload a list of images that we want to, that has pictures of those objects. A few things about that. You want to build generally about inventory, about 15 pictures at a minimum per object. If you don't have that, you're really going to need to go ahead and you really need a lot more than that. But 15 is the bare minimum. It's not going to let you even go to market until you have those 15 images. Typically speaking, once you can get about 40 to 50, you're going to get a really crisp model. Another thing about that is you want to make sure that this can of Coke is in various settings and where its natural setting might be. For an inventory, it might be in a box. It might be on a shelf. It might be in a trash can. Whatever it might be, you want to make sure it's in its natural setting and not all lit up like my stage lighting and all that, where the model's not going to perform very well in that case. So however you think you're going to take a picture of this object in the real world, you want to replicate that in our testing data set also. So with that now done, let's go and actually pick some of those images. I'll hit add images, and I have a data set right here. I'm just going to pick a few of them right now. you'll get the idea. Actually, I'll pick a few that are a little more unusual here, like these guys here. Okay. Now, I'm not going to do all these right now because you'll get the idea. But you'll see I have some of the pictures that are actually on shelves. In this case, it's all on my desk. But many of the pictures I uploaded previously in the model that I actually have in production are items that are on shelves and different and my desk and on my couch and all that. So I try to create a very natural environment for it. I have 11 images now set. So when I select each of these images, it's going to ask, well, what am I looking at right here? Now, if I wait 1 or 2 seconds, I can actually click the hand instead and say this is a Diet Coke. Then hit the next button. Again, I can actually draw a box around it right now and say this is a Diet Coke. Or if I wait just a second, the object detection is going to find what's in this picture right now. So I'll say this is a Coca-Cola, this is a Canada Dry, and so on. Now, the more images you upload, this is a really painful process here. See, right now it's not a hand, but 1 second later, it turns into a hand. It's a little painful process right now to do this whole process. So you're not gonna have to watch me do all this. But in the case of Canada Dry and Mountain Dew in particular, I want to take a lot of pictures of those side by side so the model can figure out that these are indeed different types of cans. And you'll see those later in my piece here. But as I go through this, I would then hit done tagging. Now in my case, it's not going to work because it's still waiting for, you'll see on the side here, it's waiting for 15 images at least of each of these. And as you see, I haven't tagged any kind of Mountain Dews, and I've only tagged 1 Coca-Cola so far. So I've got this already done already, and you'll see the next step is actually it goes through and trains the model. So we're essentially done at this point. And we can always add more images by hitting add images right here and upload more as well. I'm going to cancel this though and just show you the model I've already taken care of. So let's go back to the AI builder, back inside of PowerApps.com, and there we go, back, and we'll go to a model we've already built. So here we have a model we've already built. You'll see I have one for each type, and there's my soda inventory system right there. Now in this case, we're getting a score of about 87. That's a pretty darn good score. And what this is telling us now is it's telling us that, hey, our model still needs some improvement. I don't have a whole lot of images here. It's 4 objects I'm detecting, but in my case, it could use some more data. I uploaded about 30 or so images in my case, and of that I got about 18 to 20 on each of the objects. And I try to stack them in different ways and show them side by side and all sorts of fun stuff to make it work. But this is where I can go through and add more images. We can do a quick test here to see if our model works. Let's do a quick test to see if this is actually going to work now. So I've already published this model. You don't have to publish it though to do a test. By publishing, what I basically mean is I'm going to allow it to be used by Flow and by PowerApps. So if I just go ahead and select this Canada Dry and a Coca-Cola here, we'll see if it actually worked. Yep, it's 98%. This is 98% certain this is a Canada Dry, and 97% certain this is a Coca-Cola here in this case. And I can keep on going and try different scenarios, try it on the shelf. If I hit this use here, I think I might even have it on a shelf of some sort. Oh. Must be my test data somewhere here. Here's an example here of 2 Cokes side by side, and you may see this would be an interesting one. Yeah, it did pick it right here, Mountain Dew versus the Canada Dry. Even though the colors are very similar and the styling is very similar, it did choose that as the right model. I only was able to successfully do this because I took a lot of pictures of it. So let's go ahead and close this out and now use this inside of our Power App to build our inventory system now. So I am going to create a brand new application here. And again, if you haven't seen this before, go back and look at my other videos. You'll find out how to do this. It's on the playlist, Learn Power Apps. And I'm going to insert a new AI builder, and we'll call this just an object detector. Now, I'm going to use default names. Terrible idea in my case. But I'm going to use the default names for all these. I should obviously name these appropriately, but we'll go with the defaults for the time being. I've got that soda inventory detector you already seen. Let's go make a nice wide image of that. And you can see I can test this right now by hitting the Alt click and pick my soda here. We haven't seen this one yet. And let's see how we do. There we go. And it's hard to see right now. Let me kind of zoom in a little closer here. You see it found a Mountain Dew can, looks like we found a Diet Coke can. Oops, sorry. And we found a partial one of a Coca-Cola can over here also. So not too bad. It's doing pretty well. So let's see how we actually can use that now and detect that in text now. So to do that, we're going to put a gallery in place. And this gallery is required because I can have more than one object in here. So let's do a gallery. We'll drop that in. And we'll just go ahead and ignore what data source to put it in. Okay, I'm just going to do a title and subtitle like that. Okay. And for our gallery data source, we're going to point to this object detection on the left. So let's go ahead and do that. Let me actually get rid of my face here so you can see full screen what it looks like. There we go. So I'll go to object detection. There we go. Dot, and we're looking for vision objects. Oh, you see it's already kind of found it. Now here's the weird thing of what it's going to do. It's going to show us all the objects, whether it's in there or not. So you see in this case, the model supports 4 objects, so it's showing all of them right now. And if I were to go inside of this one right here where it says ID, and instead put it as count, it's going to show how many of those it found. So let me kind of zoom in closer here. So you can see it found 1 Mountain Dew, 1 Diet Coke, and 1 Coca-Cola in this picture here. So if I wanted to, I can get a little more fancy and put the word count in front and all that. So on top of that, though, let me go ahead and slide that a little bit farther over so you can kind of see it all. If you wanted to filter this out where you're only seeing the ones that are in the pictures, well, we can do the old filter command here. So we can do a filter command, open parenthesis. Again, I have a whole video on just the filter command, and I just want to see where there's more than one object, more than 0 objects in that picture. So there we go. We're looking pretty darn good now. So a more mature object might be, I want to go ahead and update some inventory. So let's go ahead and change this to a save icon. So we can see that now it has a save icon. I'm going to put the old inventory number here, and we're going to put a new inventory number side by side. So let's go ahead and put a new text input here. There we go. Okay. Now, it's not going to be the prettiest application in this case. We're just trying to get the point across here. Now, in this case, I'm going to break one of my cardinal rules of putting a lookup inside of a gallery. And the reason why you don't want to do lookups typically in a gallery is for every row going through it, it's going to do a lookup for that row individually. Now, in my case, though, I'm doing an inventory system where I might only have three items in the picture, so these galleries are going to be very, very small in my case. And that's why I'm breaking my rule in this case. So let's go back over here and we'll do a lookup command. And for that, I'm going to need to connect to a data source. I actually have I'm going to show all entities here, and I'm going to add that data source called object. There it is. This was where my inventory is now stored. And I'm going to do a lookup into that object. Okay, so let's do a lookup into object detection. There we go. And I have this, I want to go ahead and try to match up my names here. So I have I would have a SKU number normally, but in my case, I was lazy and I didn't add a good SKU number. So let's go ahead and say the name is equal to whatever I've detected here. I think it's called display name. There it is. That's what the object detector actually has. So object detector, it has this field called display name, and that's what we're seeing here. What is it? What's a field name, like a Mountain Dew 2-liter bottle, yada, yada, yada. And I want to actually put inside that the inventories for this. Close my parenthesis. And in a moment, we're seeing that we now have, let me kind of zoom in, 41 Mountain Dew cans total in our inventory, and we have 55 Diet Cokes, and so on and so on and so on. So one of the things we can do, which is what I want to do right now, I'm going to move this a little closer so we can kind of see them side by side, and we, of course, would obviously make that a little bigger now. And I'm going to put an icon here just with the add button. And do I want to basically add that to inventory now? Okay, and that's the question. So for my save button, I'm going to use a patch command to send this to the database. And I've got this already pre-built just so you guys want to watch me build a patch command. But let's go ahead and click on that. And for the save button, we're going to paste in my patch command. Okay, looks like it's happy right now. And basically what this is doing is saying, all right, go ahead and send into the object detection example. Go ahead and grab whatever row I'm looking at. That's what the filter command is doing. And the first is getting a row object in this case. Match it up based on name. And I'm going to update the inventory total and add in whatever I'm counting in the picture to whatever I see in that text box. All right, so by theory now, if I go back over here again and look at my Coca-Cola, I should be able to I can actually adjust this inventory if I wanted to manually, or I can hit the little go button here, and I should now add that one item to the inventory. So now I have 65 Coca-Colas in my inventory. All right, good enough. Now let's actually look at this in the real world now and how will this application work. And to do that, I'm actually going to open up my phone now, and I will share my phone with that. Oh, okay, and let me go ahead and mirror my phone real quick. There we go, so you can see it on the screen. And let me get rid of my face so you can see it that way as well. And let me move this over so we can see what it looks like. Okay, oh, there it is, already there. All right, cool. So in our case, we'll open up the PowerApps application. And let's get this a little bigger so you can see it in full screen here once it comes up. Oh, did I not? Let me open up PowerApps one more time here, sorry. Okay, so we're going to open up PowerApps one more time here. And in this application, we'll open up the object detection soda. There it is. Now, I made this intentionally a horizontal application. Oh, not right now. I'm not sure why it's asking me. Always, oh, the middle of the video is going to do that. And I'm going to take a picture now. I'm not sure how the studio lights are going to treat this. We'll see, but we'll give it a shot here and see what it looks like. So what we want to see now, let me go ahead and go full screen on this again. Okay, and go full screen. There we go. So I hope you're looking at that. I'm going to go ahead and detect, take a photo of this. And let's mess it up here. Let's go ahead and stack some items. Let's show a Mountain Dew logo maybe and do that. And here we go. Let's get rid of my stuff that's not natural. And let's see how we do. Well, I'll go ahead and pop the logo in there as well. Okay, so hopefully I have some picture in here that resembles my training data set, the stuff that we're looking at right now. So hopefully now it bounces this up against the server, and it looks like it found that as a Canada Dry. There we go. We found 1 Canada Dry, 1 Mountain Dew, and 2 Coca-Colas. And of course I can hit the little save button here, and it's going to update my inventory accordingly after that also. So pretty cool example of how we can use this in the real world. So this is an example of how we can use the inventory system to ultimately add stuff automatically and reduce the human error. Again, our steps are, we need a common data services table, our entity in our case, has a list of all of our SKUs. We built the AI model. We trained it with at least 15 pictures of these soda cans sitting all around my my office here. And then ultimately after that, we built the app on top of it using the object detector. All right, hope you enjoyed this video, and if you need us, we'd love to build an app for you also. You can reach out to me at pragmaticworks.com, or I'm being at Pragmatic Works. And if you have any questions about this, please add them in the comments, and please subscribe as well. We also have a lot of training on PowerApps and the Power Platform as a whole, and thank you again for watching this video. Take care.
I'm at the bank making money, making moves. Machines with tools and drills making grooves. Missions impossible, that's lotsable. I'm upside down hanging like Tom Cruise.